Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, Mama Fox Studios. This is Missy and we're on build number 5 of our whatever garden, or courtyard, I guess. So 2 videos ago we finished the table and the sideboard, and then on our last video we did the little table and the limbs, and then we did a second one in the little vase there. And then we also did a pink one with some green leaves in the, sorry, I'm just trying to stand that one up, in the flower pot here. So trying to keep these up and out of my way, but not falling over. So where did I put my book? I don't know. It's right here. Forgot what I was doing. Oh, we're starting the kitchen today. Yay, I like these. Okay, so we need to get some things out. 117 we know is the wooden wire that is looped around, not the cut edges. And then and 116 is the much thicker one. So we need both of those. And we need I-60, which is the, whoop, I have a, see, there's one stuck in there. A little metal looking bead. And then I-61, I'm gonna think it's this one. Let me double check though, because you never know. 61, yes, small bead rifle color. I do believe, let me just double check. That's black, black, white, pearl, pink. That's wood. Okay, yeah. This little metal one. It's kind of like, it says rifle color. Kind of like, looks a little silverish kind of to me, but, okay, where are you going? It's taken off on me here. Okay, and then we need 162, which is our other little plate kind of thing, the bigger one. We used the smaller one already. And then we're going to need the other little flower button that's kind of like a bowl, and our lemon and our watermelon. I think that's it. Okay. Oops. Let's cut our wire first. Okay, so for the 116, we need 15 millimeters, which is 1.5 centimeter, and 8 millimeters, which is 0.8 centimeters. So 1.5, and then 0.8. All right, and then on the 117, we need 25 millimeters, which is 2.5 centimeters. Okay, I think that's it there. Let's put these back so I don't lose them. All right, so we're gonna take our, of the bigger, the 116, the 2 pieces that is the wider, the fatter material, wire. I know what I'm trying to say. So this is like the little spout. I'm just gonna glue it on there. Now it kind of is at a natural angle cut, so I'm gonna use that. Okay, so I'm gonna put Aleene's Original Tacky Glue on here, but I'm also gonna put some of the Crazy Super Glue, a little dab on there, and then we're going to have to hold this for a second because we're waiting for glue to dry and it does not like this. I would use the Loctite, but I'm afraid I'm going to get it everywhere like it did before. All right, so that's just going to sit there. We're going to put our little bead on top. Let me see how it sits. Okay, so it sits right on there. So I'm going to put the aleenes around the inside edge. Okay, and then our longer one, now we need to bend this in, like not in half, but we need to arch it in half. So I'm going to go way up high on my thingies, and okay, see, it's not bent enough because it's not going to set all the way. So it needs to be bent pretty healthy, and just make sure it's the look you want. I think that's a little bit long for my likes. So I'm just going to trim off a little bit, but since I already have it bent, I'm going to do a little bit off of each side versus straightening it, cutting it a little bit more, and then bending it again. Just a little bit more, I think, because I want to bend it a little bit more. Oop, I took the coating off, but oh, okay, I did take the wire. It just sat there for a second. Okay, that's what I want. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing, and then I'm just going to kind of probably a little bit bigger drop than I need, but that way that does not go in the it goes in the bottom, not in the cup. If it's a little bit bigger, that way I'll have a better chance of getting it on there, which I did really good because it caught a hold of that top real quick. So there's our little teapot, or I think that this is too long. I was worried about that, so can I cut it without taking it off? Okay, yeah. Okay, that looks much better to me. So I go by the measurements, but then I can always adjust it if I don't like their measurements or their sizing. I do adjust a lot of things. Feel free to adjust as you like. If you wanted a really long, maybe bent spout, that's perfectly, you know, as long as you can make it, you can do it. So a little teapot. Whoop. Okay, and then we're gonna make a little, oh, hey, what are you doing out? You were not supposed to come out. It is not your time to play yet. Little thingy. So we'll put that back. I don't even know what I'm saying. Okay, we're gonna make a little pot here, and out of this, the thinner stuff, and these are my favoriteest way to make these little pots. So we're gonna take it. Now, if you don't have these and you're gonna do a lot of kits, maybe you're just starting out, I would put it on your wish list because these little wire thingies and wire cutters are very great to have on hand. So I'm just gonna put it right at the tip because I almost want it to be bent completely in half. So up here, if you put it up here, it'll make a much more open center, and if you put it way down here, it'll make a much smaller center. So I'm gonna do it as evenly as I can, and then I'm actually going to kind of squish it together a little bit because I want the handles to be very much closed. And actually up here is square, and it's easier to squeeze things together. I want you to stay tight. Okay. So you see how we, oh, now I can't pick it up, of course. So you see how we just have just that little bit of a hole there. And you could probably even get it tighter together, but I'm okay with that amount. We want those ends to be as even as we can though. So I'm gonna go ahead and give them just a little trim, but that way they're, ooh, that shot across the room. That way they're the same length. Now I'm gonna do this. Oh, I almost forgot. How are we gonna connect it? We're going to take these ends and bend them out. You gotta be careful with these covered ones because sometimes you'll lose the little rubber covering, which I almost did on this side. So we want to bend those so that they're flat. So when we put them on here, they'll go right on the side of the pan. So put my glue right on the edges of those, and then a little bit there and there. I want these pretty much up towards the top of the lip up here. I don't want to have them farther down because that's just not how I want it. I want it up high. So then if you want, because like you can see that they're going straight when the pan curves, once they're stuck on, you can kind of, I always kind of push it, whoop, don't lift up, push it down a little bit. Or you can start off by curving them a little bit, but I never get the curve correct. So that's why I don't try to curve them before I stick them on. And it's okay if you just leave them straight. Actually, mine are really small, so even if they're straight, you're not going to see it that much because I can't bend them. If you have it longer, it's easier to bend, but okay, we have our little frying pan. How cute is that? I think the handle is a little bit unproportioned. Do you think so? It's okay. We're gonna leave it. I went by their measurements. All right, and then when we want our lemon, we want 1 slice of lemon and 1 slice of watermelon, right? And it doesn't give us a proportion, so just keep your blade straight is the most important thing I can tell you. I'm going to give them a good chunk. I know when I first started using these, I was like, oh, I want to save some for my stash, right? So I would cut the thinnest layers as I possibly could, so that way I could save some, which you saw I used some on the table in the little meat dish thingy that we made. Instead of the tubing and paper, I used leftover pieces of these. All right, so we are just going to go ahead and glue the bottom of the watermelon. And I'm going to pretty much stand it up, kind of off center. And then the lemon is going to kind of lean on the side of it. So kind of on that bottom corner. And then I think I want it to lean right there on the edge of the watermelon. You can position these however you want. And that way you can see as much as you want. It doesn't feel quite done to me. You know what I have? Oh, hang on. I have. Okay, I'm going to add a little something to mine because I have orange. See, these are all my leftover pieces. And I have an orange, so I'm going to add a little slice of orange to the front of that. Now, if you don't have a stash with extra one of these, I'm going to make these kind of thin so it's not, doesn't take as much room. You can add a second piece of lemon or a second piece of watermelon. Usually, you can see how much I have in some of these. Usually, they give you, little bits or quite a lot to leftovers. So I think if you made an extra slice, if you wanted, I think you would probably be okay. Just shook that whole shelving unit. Okay, so what am I doing here? Go a little bit on that edge. And I think I'm going to go a little bit on this side of the watermelon. Kind of centered. Oh, okay, I didn't hit that glue at all. It's okay, it'll dry clear. So, yeah, there's my little fruit tray, fruit bowl, whatever we're going to do there. All right, so get these out of the way. So now we need, we need 1/16, which is the thicker, I forgot about this one. The thicker black one, and 1/38, which I believe is the wooden 1/38. Yeah, the black wooden bead. We used a few of these before. There's actually 2 more, I think. 3, 2, 3, something like that. We're going to use one of those. Okay, we need, how much of this do we need? 30 millimeters, so 3 centimeters. Where did my ruler go? Okay, and we want to take this, and we want a pretty, this is our kitchen faucet, so it's going to sit down in there, but we want a pretty good bend in this. Like, so kind of like a candy cane. I think that's a bit too tall though. So yeah, kind of just like a candy cane, and then we're gonna glue it down in here. Whoops! Oh. I love those black tweezers, but they just do not like the round beads, or the round beads just do not like them. Why does that look funky? Looks like it's bent weird. Huh, okay. I'm just gonna stick that. I should have verified that it fit first, dang it. Now I've bent. Okay, whoops. Could just be that there's a little bit of excess paint. Maybe you turn it over and try the other side sometimes. There's just a lip of paint in here. I think it's the problem. I think that's set down in there now. You don't want it to go through the bottom because we're going to set it on top of the sink or on the edge of the sink, and you want that bead to be able to be flush. So I just want to make sure that it's straight coming up until we bend there. All right, there's our little kitchen sink. All right, so now we need I-14. I believe that's our metallic. Reflective. Yes, that's the metallic paper. Did I leave it in here? Yes, I did. And just made a mess in here. Okay, we want this to be 18 millimeters by 24 millimeters. So 18 millimeters is 1.8 centimeters. I'm just like, I know, 1.8. Kind of score that a little bit by, what did I say, 24, 2.4. Trying to find my mark. I think that's it. Okay, so we have the little piece there. And then we need I-14, what's, oh, that's that. The piece we just cut, okay. I'm looking to see what else we need. 3-16. I knew there was another piece of paper, that's why I was looking. So we can go ahead and get those cut out. 3-16. I think we're going to use 16 and 17. And we're using 18 and 18. 16, 17, and 18. Oh, not 19. 19 goes back on. I was like, what? Okay, let's go ahead and cut these out. You know the routine. If you don't like the boring parts, go ahead and feel free to fast forward till I'm reassembling again, but please be kind in my comments. I heard somebody say, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. And I was like, whoa, blast from the past. We got told that all the time growing up. I was the oldest of 5, so sometimes you weren't very nice to your siblings. But, and, especially my 3 little brothers, or even my sister. My sister's a year and a half younger, and then my 3 brothers are 6, 8, and 10 years younger than me. So as I got older, you know, sometimes it was more difficult. And I'm a 70s baby and an 80s kid, you know. And latchkey kids as we were. Gen X, yay. Don't come at me. I love being a Gen Xer. And yeah, we don't care, so be nice. Anyways, I don't remember what I was watching, and somebody said, oh, the comment was, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how many times my mom would say that to me when she knew what I was complaining about was right. Like, I was legit in the right to be upset, but yet they were my younger siblings, you know, so she didn't want me to be too mad or stay mad, because yes, I can hold a grudge. Found that out very young in life. And so my mom would just be like, if you can't say anything nice to your big sister, just don't say anything at all. Same goes for you, Missy. And I was just like, yeah, whatever. And I just glare at them and be like, wait till she leaves. I'll tell you what I really think then. No, I didn't. I loved my siblings. Still do. They're a pain in my ass, but I still love them. It's okay. I can talk about them. None of them watch this. None of them watch me on here. I think only my sister's a subscriber. I don't think any of my brothers did. My sister-in-law, my one sister-in-law did. Only one that's still in the family, so. I don't think she actively watches, but she's very nice. See, I can talk smack about my siblings all I want. They'll never know. Whoop. That's okay. We're going to have to trim up a few of these. We got a little bit of white left on them. And it kind of got a little thin on some spots, but that's okay. I know the chances of miscutting when I don't use a ruler. That's okay. I take that chance. But if you don't want to, feel free, use a ruler, use scissors, however you feel most comfortable. I just, some reason, suck trying to use scissors. I don't know why. Except when I do circles. When I do like complete big circles, I do better with scissors. All right. So there's our 4 pieces of paper. Wait, what? It was 15, 16, and 17, right? 316 on a D12. 315. Oh, that's, yeah. And then something's not making sense. Hang on. Did I get one of the pieces? Just wondering if I grabbed one of the wrong. Oh, yeah. I grabbed a wrong thing. Because I'm like, there's a single. So it's this one and this one. So we already have these cut out for whenever they're ready for it to be used. So we'll just stick those over to the side real quick. I find this little wax pen really does help. Pencil, pen, whatever. But except when I put up new wax because it's so soft. It was supposed to be for diamond arts. No, it was so soft. It's just not feasible to use it as diamond art. So, okay, so this is 315 and this is 316. So, I think, yeah, because the bigger ones were together. Okay. I'll be honest, I looked at the D16, and which was this one, and then I just looked at the others and went, oh, and I looked at the pictures, the pages that I had in my hand, and they seemed to match without really looking too closely, and I just assumed. I know, I get more pieces wrong, put together wrong, because I assume I know what the hell they want when I should just take the time to read the instructions. Clearly, but obviously I jump the gun a little sometimes. That's okay. Now we need some more pieces. Yay. We need our D. We're still in the D. Okay, I'm going to have to dump them out and measure because I don't know what we're... Okay, we obviously don't need the gray ones. or the black, or the unfinished ones. Those are for our stairs, obviously. Or that little white one, that might be an extra, I don't know. Okay, what do we need now? Okay. This one, we need this one. This is D10 with the little L cut out. And then D13 is 24 by 20 millimeters. So, no. Okay, there's 2 centimeters, which is 20. Okay, that's a 20 by 24. Okay, so that's, and then, do we have a matching one? Yeah, we should have 2. Okay. So that goes there. Oh. Okay, I know you guys just blinked, but I took a second. My parents just came in and I wanted to shut the door and I almost hit the stop button instead of the pause button. Ooh-wee, because I don't edit. I format, but I don't edit. So if I'd actually hit stop, we would have part B. So thank goodness I was paying attention. Okay, D13, D10. So this is going like that. And then D12 is 28 by 24. No. 26. 24 by 20, no, 24 by 24. Dang it. Oh, wait, I counted wrong. That's 28 by 24. Okay, so this one goes, trying to map it out here. This one goes here. Oh yeah, duh. And then here is D11. Trust me, it's easier to do it this way for me. 40 by 24. 40 by 24. Okay, so this one goes here. This one goes here. This one goes there. Dot, dot, dot. And then the other D13, which is the same as this one. Didn't I have that? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, those are on each end. And then, okay. Oh, okay, so we're gonna need other D's of these in a minute. So I'm just gonna, because we're only at half an hour, so we're gonna build the next one. So I'm gonna scooch those over. So first off, we wanna put our little mirror over the, so where this, the solid part is long to the right and on top. We wanna put this on the backs. This will be underneath. Oh, I almost cut that too small. Wow, I cut it by their dimensions too. But yeah, that's going to be our sink. Oh wow, that is okay. I'm going to recut this a little bit. It's like almost a little bit too small. I may have measured wrong. Could be my fault. Just for the record, I have extra of this. So hopefully you've watched this and realized cut carefully. So it was 18 by 24. Yeah, I did 18, but that's almost too thin. So I'm gonna go 20. I'm just gonna go with this. this piece off. Because if you looked on mine, you could see either side. Like if you could see through one side, and then when I tried to move it to the other side, you saw through the other side. Okay, that's just a tiny bit long. Where? I'm staring at all my tools and I still can't find what I need. I'm just going to take a sliver off so that, oh, maybe a little bit more of a sliver. I just don't want it to show through on the edges. Okay, and then we'll just lay this right over that. Now we know we have enough coverage. Ta-da! And we're actually going to do a little something else when we get to, once we complete the cabinet. Just that glue will dry clear, but I'm just trying to get, kind of leaves a film kind of on this metallic. So I do try to get it off if I can. Not always possible. I wonder if like a Q-tip would work. What happens is sometimes I just end up smearing it around. Yes, I know that. Okay. Oh, why am I going to bother? We're going to cover that up. Okay. Anyways, okay, so back on when it's like this. Now we want D10 to set on top. Can I use my corners here? No, it's just like they're slightly unevenly cut. But can I do, aha, I can do it that way. No, because then this is, okay. I like the idea of this, but you have to have, these are just not, like they're rounded corners are just not always flat. So anyways, this is going to set on there. Long ways, right? Yeah. Yep, long ways coming up. Okay. So it leans on the bottom corner or on the bottom edge. And then a little bit of crazy glue on the corners. And we want this to be flush with the back, the outside, because it's a little bit shorter, because our next piece is going to also sit on here and be on this one. So it's a little bit short. We want that extra up here on the inside piece. Okay, so the next one is going to go long ways. Yep, and see, it will set on top. It'll overlap a little bit, but it'll go also on here. So I'm going to put this on the bottom and also on the side here. This is why I use a precision tip and a brush. You all saw me the other day. It wasn't this build, it was something else I was doing. I can't remember which one. And oh, the little Magic House bottle, Dream Bottle series. And I was trying to put some toppers, some little beads on top of some other beads to make little bottles, and I had picked up some Loctite. Someone told me it was great to do that, like if you're working with metals or little pieces or something. And then someone else told me nail glue was amazing, but it's like instant. So my nail glue was, okay, let me finish one thing first. My nail glue was dried out, so I tried to use a Loctite. If you didn't see that one, it's not a brush applicator, and I had it all over my hands. It was a mess. So I used the cheapy crazy glue. It's the cheapest I found, and it has the brush applicator, so I don't get it everywhere. One of the things, pros and cons of this type of wood. Pro is you don't have to cut them out of sheets of wood, and you don't have to sand or color the edges, right? Because they're all pre-done. But con is sometimes they're not flush. Sometimes they're not even. This one, it's okay, but there was a little bit of a wobble in it right there. But that's okay. All right, next one is going long ways on top. It's going to butt into this one, and it'll match to the end, okay? So we're going to go on the short side. And the long side. And then corner, corner, and top corner. Now we can't lay this down to butt our sides up, so I'm just going to make sure I'm flush. And yep, there we go. Oh, you're out a little bit. And the super glue's already set in. Awesome. There. I just undid the whole thing. There we go. Okay, and then our last piece will go tall, and it will set right on top. Yep. Okay, so we're going to go a short end and a tall end for glue. Super glue is going to get corner, corner, side, top. And then now this one we can lay down and make sure it's flat. And then make sure it's just pushed in to this one. Whoop, don't be moving it. Okay. Now when we flip it over, oh wait. No, it's still like this, still upside down. So our single doors are going to go on this side here. Okay, so do our aliens around the edge. And it's because we can do it upside down because there's not a top or bottom. Okay, I think we were supposed to do this before we put it in here because then it would be underneath this one. So it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I'm just gonna have to trim off this edge. Like the whole edge. That was my mistake. So if you're building with me, please say you watch this before you build at least once. You want to put these on as you're building. So once you get this D12 glued in, this one here, you want to put the 316 on it. So that way when you put the next piece of wood on, it goes over the top of the sticker. Although I think that's still too much sticker. I mean, not sticker, but paper. Okay, and then this one is going to go with the drawers in the center. Same thing. Well, it's closer at least. Well, we'll trim off a little bit on the edge. That's okay. I've lived in some places with some janky cabinetry, so it's all in the realm of possibilities. No, stop moving wood. I want the paper to move. Yeah, I think these are just a bit too big. But I'm not going to stress over them. I'm just going to make them fit. That's all I'm doing, making them fit. Okay. And we're at 47. Okay, so then, so if we're like this, right? Oh, now we're going to flip it over. Boom! Okay. So we want 2.6. I mean 2-6. Those are threes because I had them out of order. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 6s in here. Little stove top. Which is funny because then we're going to put stuff on it and you don't even see. They literally could just have a piece of black paper. Put our glue on here. Whoop, paper stuck to my finger. Whoop. Okay, we want it kind of not totally in the center, but kind of over towards the edge here. And we want the little knobs to be closest to the inside here. And I'm just going to kind of center that in just this section. So not taking into the full length of the counter. I'm going to like as if there was a line right here. And then we'll just kind of center that, which is kind of centered up over. Okay, that's an easier way to center it over that line in the cabinetry. So that's pretty close. All right. Then we want to put our little faucet here right up over the sink. So we'll put a kind of right in the center. Now we don't want it to be behind because we're going to, I believe, put this up against a wall. And if you have this back too far, it won't allow the wood to get close to the wall. You'll be hitting on the bead. So it does stick over inside the sink just a tiny little bit, but that's okay. And I'm just going to make sure it's standing up straight. Yep. Okay, and so then what they have us do is do the pot here, or the little saucepan here, our little tea kettle here, and then our fruit bowl here. I want to see some of this stove. So what I'm going to do is do our fruit bowl, and then I think I'm going to set the little tea kettle over here and then put our pan here. So that way at least you get one of the you can see like, oh maybe, wait, what if we put this in front and then put this back here? Oh, there we go. So you can see everything and we still get one of our stove tops open. Okay, so only the center of this pan touches because it's concave, so I'm just going to center that pretty much on that. There. You can do these any way you like. You know, these three things, configure them however makes you happy. That's that artistic license. Just remember, don't let your little spout or handle hang out, because this might go in a, I think this goes in a corner. So you don't want them to, if you do this, you don't want them to be past those. And then we'll do our little fruit platter here. Okay, so there is our, oh, I'm going to do one more thing. Hold on. So this is something I've picked up along the way. Because we have this batting, I'm going to take just a little bit of it. Trust me, you have more than enough. I have so much of this stuff in my stash. It had to go in my in the big box that I have underneath. And I'm going to take a little, just a little bit of one of the wires. It doesn't matter which wire, whichever one you like. And I'm going to make a sink hot of sudsy water with a spatula in it. So I'm going to take these and let's just put this around the edge. That's why I was like, when I was scraping all that off, and then I went, wait, why am I scraping it off? I'm going to cover up this. Now I do like the reflective, but you don't see it as much because it's in the corner. So if you have some suds, you see them a bit more, in my opinion. Now, of course, you don't have to do any of this. This is all just my extra little bit that I'm going to do. Stay down, would you, please? Oh, dang it. Remember that there's nothing underneath the metallic paper. I punched through, that's why. So my sink is having a lot of suds, like overflowing suds. I usually do it that way. Dang it. Okay, then I'm going to take this little piece of wire, put a little bit of glue on the bottom, on one side, and I'm just going to like stick it in through the suds. Whoops. Okay, I don't like these suds. Okay, you know what? My suds aren't thick enough. But it's very shallow is the problem. A lot of times we've created like a little drop box, which I would love to do now, but now I have all the stuff on the top. I can't really turn it over and work on it. So I'm going to try one more time. This time I'm going to get a bit thicker, but I'm going to cut instead of pulling it. So this way it kind of stays in that. Oh no. Depends on if we want a soap party. Do we want a soap party? Ooh, we want a soap party. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. You guys ever had a suds party? I did on accident one time. You know, in the TV or in the movies, like where the kids are home alone or whatever, and they put like the dish soap in the dishwasher or the dish soap in the washing machine. Yeah, it actually happens sometimes on accident. I did not mean to do it. I was all of about 9, I think. I was helping my mom out, like being the good girl that I was. And the first time I'd used a dishwasher, because we'd never had a dishwasher before. I'd always done dishes by hand. And yes, I did dishes every night. I still do. But I'd always done dishes by hand. So I always would, my mom taught me how to load the dishwasher. And yes, we wash our dishes before we put them in the dishwasher. I know, don't come at me. It's how I was taught. Still do it. My mom still does it. Okay, and now we're going to shove this way down in here. So it's like a little spatula sticking out of the suds. Oh, don't lose the faucet. So my mom taught me how to load the dishwasher, but she didn't tell me how to like run it, because she would always turn it on like before we went to bed at night. Well, I don't remember why. I was just, oh, I've lost the bottom. I didn't realize my paper had come off from under here. I was going to help my mom and start the dishwasher one night because it was full. Remember, family of 7, it's always full. And I didn't know we had special soap for the dishwasher. And yep, if you're laughing already, just know I laugh now too. But back then I cried my eyes out. I mean, I cried for like 2 days. I was so sorry. I flooded our kitchen with soap. Yeah, it really does do that. If you put regular dish soap in the dishwasher, it will absolutely froth. It is just like froth the bubbles out. Yeah, it does. And yes, it is a pain in the ass to clean up. I really just want you stuck down further. So it's like we can't see. I could have made an actual spatula and then I wouldn't mind, but I didn't make the head of it, so I want to be like, we can't see it. Okay, we're having a suds party. Just letting that sit for a second. Oh, let me close that up, otherwise I will forget and toss it somewhere and have it everywhere. All right, so this is our kitchen, our little kitchen cabinet. What do you guys think? What do you think about the added suds and spatula handle? I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. I wish I would have paid more attention because I actually know how to build the little drop sinks, and I should have done that before I put everything on here, because then we could have had the suds down further, and it just works a little bit better. I guess we could actually trim a little bit of this suds off. Kind of is a bit much, I think. Oh, wrapped around the sink, faucet. Okay, what are you still stuck on? There, it's a little bit better. Oh, let me just get this one little row right here. Okay, that looks much better. It also looks much more condensed. Okay, and then who knows if it's a spatula or a pan or, you know, something's down in there. Okay, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm going to trim a little bit more real quick because now I'm on a roll. Okay, I'm gonna stop because otherwise I'll trim it till there's nothing left, right? But that's kind of more of what I wanted. I wanted that full look, but down low, not quite so voluminous. And we almost lost our faucet there. All right, well, if you guys are still here, thank you. You are, ooh, tumbleweeds now. These are gonna be everywhere. You guys are the rock stars, and I really, really do appreciate you. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you, and the tumbleweeds, not so much, but definitely you, in the next build. Bye.